Greetings and felicitations, YouTube. Jarl of the Appian Way here with another episode of Can Appius Win One? And I have something I need to admit, which is I won one while recording this episode, and because of a graphical mistake on my part, I was unable to record a video that was actually watchable. In fact, the whole file was corrupted because I somehow had encoded it in flawless quality, which meant that it was like 128 gigabyte size file. It was ridiculous, and I lost the video of me winning and actually feeling like I deserved it for once. So, take two, I guess. This battle, I'm facing the Empire. I am playing as Lizardmen. I'm facing off against 2 Outriders, 5 Spearmen, a Steam Tank, Franz, the Jade Wizard, 2 Great Swords, and a Reichsguard Empire Knight. I brought an army that I'm not proud of. Even as I made it, I was like, I don't like this army. What am I doing? I'm lacking tools. I have too few units. I have 4 Source Warriors with shields because they'll be able to handle just about any kind of infantry the Empire throws at it. He needs to bring Great Swords, which he did. But just in case he brought Great Swords, I brought kroq-gars. I also brought a Stegodon because I couldn't afford more monsters after I picked, because I felt like I wanted 2 the double Carnosaur build with kroq-gar and with Scar Veteran to face off against cavalry. So I couldn't bring more than 1 monster after those 2, so I just spent the funds I had left on a Stegodon with 2 XP. And then I brought a Skink Priest because I needed some form of magic, and I knew I was going to need something to kind of slow down his cavalry since I didn't have anything very fast. So I picked the Skink Priest of Beast with the Curse of Honor hair. I kind of wish I brought a Slan instead, maybe, for better magic options than just Heavens or Beasts. And, of course, the Temple Guard. And here it goes. So he just immediately sent up his Outriders rather confidently because he knows I can't do much about it. I'm also going to pull off some dodging magic here with my Stegodon, because the Steam Tank immediately starts targeting him for execution. And I'm able to dodge a couple of these cannon shots. Not all, just some. Not that one. So yeah, I'm just like, okay, well, if you're going to put these guys out here, I'm going to push. I'm going to push them, chase them, because Outriders can't move and shoot at the same time. And there goes a shot that just narrowly misses. That's good for me. Really, what I should have done right here, my Skink Priest should have just dropped that spell, that Curse of Honor arrow right there, right then. Nice dodge, thank you, Stegodon. But that's what I was focusing on at the time, was my Stegodon. And I dropped that spell right then, I might have even been able to get my Saurus Warriors into that mix-up. I moved my Temple Guards over slightly just to kind of also help to push, and I'm gonna, try to keep my forces mostly together, even though he's decided to bring his Outriders here and get some free shots at kroq-gar, free shots at Temple Guards. It's, that's good value for that unit. Take another big hit from the Steam Tank with the Stegodon. I'm really just happy that my opponent didn't bring cannons. I feel like I would have been in a lot of trouble. So here comes the Curse of Honor air, and I also do, at the same time, I trigger Deadly Onslaught. That's not the speedy one, though, is it? No, it isn't. I thought it was. I thought they had the other common ability that has a little speed boost, but these Outriders, with that minus 24% speed, they're not going to get away from kroq-gar. They take a huge hit here. The other Carnosaur gets in. He's going to bring over his cavalry to try and help out with this, but that cavalry is not great for anti-cavalry work. He's going to start getting some shots in on my Stegodon as well, which is good value for his Outriders right now. Very, very good value. I kind of slowed down these 2 infantry units first because I realized these guys hadn't caught up yet. I want my infantry to mostly all get there at about the same time. I'm going to throw Saurus Warriors into spears. I'm going to throw Stegodon into a Great Sword. I'm going to throw kroq-gar into a Great Sword. He gets Franz and the Jade Wizard over here to help out. He's going to drop an Earth Blood on his Knights. No, I'm sorry, a Shield of Thorns. That actually adds weapon damage, which is really good for him right now. Skink Priest is out here getting shot up and bullied by an Outrider. But I'm going to trigger, boom, Overcast, Flock of Doom. And that's going to chase out the Outriders, which I don't know why they attacked. Probably also to get the benefit of the Shield of Thorns, I suppose. So yeah, this Greatsword tries to slow down my Saurus Warrior. Saurus Warrior just kind of pulls through most of it, and what a charge from the kroq-gars. Look at those pieces of Greatswords just flying through the air. Sorry, mates. Sorry, chums. This isn't your fight. So rather than just let my Skink Priest get shot up, I'm going to go ahead and just move him into this engagement. Move the Temple Guards up with him. Just join into this fight. I don't have anything else for my Temple Guards to fight right now. They're too far away to help out over here. But this fight goes a lot better for my guys than I thought it would. kroq-gar and the Scar Veteran, they just take a pounding. But, you know, they chase off an Empire Knight. They actually routed the Reiksguard once already. But now it's kroq-gar, who's really hurt against Gul Miraz. And look at that, with a regrowth thrown on as well. And the Outriders firing in. kroq-gar is not long for this world. It's even going to get rear-charged by the Reiksguard, the Jade Wizard. And the Outriders just continue to dish out the punishment. The Jade Wizard with a huge charge kills kroq-gar. The Jade Wizard. I don't know why he was throwing his Jade Wizard into all these fights, but he did, and he benefited from it. So the Stegodon gets routed. It's been harassed enough by the Steam Tank, but the Steam Tank is now in the thick of it going, I want to take out these Temple Guard. Or maybe the Skink Priest. Probably the Skink Priest. Oh, definitely the Skink Priest. And routes a Saurus Warrior at the same time. Temple Guard are going to stick in this fight, and they're going to eat up all of this Spearman. But now that this Greatsword is routed, there's blood in the water for my kroq-gars. Blood in the water, and you know what that means. Death rolls. And free Steam Tank. Look at this charge. Boom! Give me Steam Tank! So yes, my Stegodon is going to try to come back here, but it's going to eat up the rest of the Outriders' ammo, just about. I have this Saurus Warrior just kind of chasing off the this unit of Outriders, just because I don't need to worry about them anymore. The Imperial Cavalry is really hurt. Surprisingly hurt. Look at my Saurus Warriors still holding out over here. My other Scar Veteran did eventually get chased off the field. There he goes right now. And yeah, my Skink Priest tried just that noise right there. That was him trying to activate an Overcast Flock of Doom. It overcast, it misfired, gave him damage, and that routed him, and it did nothing. I really think that could have done a little bit of damage here. It's not fantastic against Empire Knights, but he's trying to create heal blobs, and I'm trying to dissuade him from doing that with Flock of Doom. So it really is just unfortunate. Look at the Steam Tank, though. Remember what I said? Temple Guards ate those Spearmen for lunch, and joined with the kroq-gars, double-teamed that Steam Tank, took it out of the fight. I was just really pleased with that. So here comes a Greatsword. I target the Jade Wizard with my Temple Guards, and I target the Greatswords with my kroq-gars, but he's going to pull in his cavalry nonsense here. Franz and friends. And he's going to try pulling in the rest of his really haggard infantry. He throws down another Earthblood. And at this point, I'm using my Saurus Warriors to chase off his infantry while I try to let my kroq-gars do the work here. I've already said GG in the chat. I'm pretty much done with this fight, but then I took out that Steam Tank, and I'm going, wait a minute, do I actually have a chance here? The problem is, I don't have anything to actually help me take out the Jade Wizard or Franz. They just do an incredible amount of work on their own here. So he goes Reichland Runefang, stand your ground. He activates every ability he's got. As I pull in more Saurus Warriors to target these Greatswords, which just rear-charged my kroq-gars. kroq-gars are holding out fantastically in here. They've already picked up XP, and they're quickly working up on a second rank. The Temple Guards also doing a phenomenal job in all of this. He charges in his Outriders. They don't have any ammo anymore, as my Saurus Warriors eat up some more Spearmen. Saurus Warriors eat up Spearmen, by the way, everybody. I don't know if you knew that. So I'm going to pull these Saurus Warriors back into the fight. And he's just going to continue to cycle charge me. which is wise. I didn't actually see this charge happen. Look at this. Oh my goodness. Singled out Saurus Warrior does not eat up cavalry. Even Outriders without ammo. And just as I think I might actually get through to this Jade Wizard, the problem is I've lost too much. Just lost far, far too much. He's lost so many troops himself, but that's it. It's a done deal. It's game over. And you know what? I'm gonna, rather than show you a live video, I'm going to show you a recording of me winning. It's going to lose out on the excitement in my voice as I realize I'm actually going to win one. But I'm going to show you that victory because, like I said, I actually am proud of this fight. So, what happened? Well, I got into the battle and I was like, I want... The lesson I learned from that fight, I felt, was I need more tools and I need to make sure I have a tool for every job. So, I picked first and I picked the Empire. And by chance, my opponent, Koj here, picks the Lizardmen. At start, the only thing I see of his army that's all the way out here is Stegodon and a Bastiladon with a Revivification Crystal. I have no idea what else he has. He deployed everything in the woods. So my army. When I was making my army, I said I need to make sure I have tools for every engagement. He picked Lizardmen, and I went, whoa, how fantastic! This is the mirror of what I just did. So, what did I learn from watching my opponent? I loved what he did with the Outriders. His Outriders earned a lot of XP chevrons, so I picked up 2 of them. And though I didn't agree with how he used his Reichsguard and his Imperial Knights, I did take a Reichsguard and I did put 1 XP on it as my last pick in the army because I thought they do have value, even though they're a anti-infantry shock cavalry unit. They do have value if I can use them to slow down, enemy cavalry or a Carnosaur even. Even if it's just for a little bit, they can really gum up the works for Lizardmen fast movers. So I did take them as well. I took Franz and I put him in the air because unless he brought like tic-tac-toe and a bunch of ripperdactyls, I was solid for bringing Franz alone flying. The thing I've definitely learned about playing Empire against Lizardmen is that great cannons are your friend. Great cannons are your friend, and just like my opponent in my previous game, the steam tank, I felt like, you know what, I was at the stage where I knew I needed more armor. I needed to bring more armor because I didn't bring armored infantry. So I went, okay, I'll bring a stank. Stank's armored. I can get a lot of value out of its maneuverability as well. It's cannon. It's a solid war machine choice. My infantry is going to be 5 units of spearmen because the shielded spearmen will... Their job is not to win against Lizardmen infantry. Their job is to outnumber Lizardmen infantry and just hold them and prevent them from getting too many of their forces into your own. And I brought 2 halberdiers because I did need the armor-piercing infantry, and I feel like the halberdiers are a better pick than the greatswords just based off of that last battle and how it went. I deployed here, hoping my opponent would deploy here. My cannon's already starting with range that reaches about to this little line right here that I'm imagining. Let's put this in slow-mo and let things progress a little bit. And my opponent, and I was thinking, I'm not even going to bother deploying out here in the woods because he's definitely going to deploy something over here and outflank me, and I don't want my flanking force to engage with his flanking force. But I do have value in keeping some of my stuff a secret. I even deployed my light wizard in these little copse of trees here where he's hidden. Because I'm like, I still have value if he doesn't know what I have. But all I knew was that he had a small army. 423 units, and I did see the Stegodon, the Bastiladon with the Revivification Crystal. What else did he bring? Well, I'll let the camera play. I'll announce them as they announce themselves. You already saw some of the choices in there. The first thing that's really going to pop out of here are going to be 3 cavalry units. He brought Cold One Rider and 2 Cold One Spear Riders. He actually put 1 XP on the Cold One Rider as well. And they're going to come out this way. and they're gonna try pushing into to outflank, because he wants to bring his army up here under the cover of the trees where they're protected from cannon fire, which is smart, which is very smart. So what do? I move my whole army, even the light wizard. I pull him out of those woods. I even move my cannons because I have time to move them. I'm going to move everybody over this way. That's the highlighted spot showing you where I'm going to put everything, because I got the time. I even moved my cavalry back deeper into the woods, making them even more of a secret, because all I know is that something's going to come this way. This cavalry announces themselves, and I'm going, oh, look at my ranges. Look at my ranges. My steam tank, my cannons. Yeah. If I could stop moving my artillery now and start shooting, and you better believe that's going to happen soon. And watch what happens to these cavalry units. So the steam tank opened fire first, but the cannons are coming next. Yeah, cannons. That's another shot from the steam tank. They're lined up perfectly for my cannonballs to do piercing damage, just getting through their units and unhorsing them, even though they're not on horses. Each hit taking out models, not just dealing damage, taking out entire models. Look at the damage I've done to this Cold One Spear Rider. Half its health gone already. 16 models dead. This one's lost 2 models, and that Cold One without spears... Alright, sorry. That was the Cold One without spears that lost 2 models already. My cannons are going to reposition. I'm moving my my spearmen over, some of my halberds over. I'm expecting to see something coming out of the woods here soon, but for now, it's all this show. And here they come. The first to announce themselves, Saurus with Spears. He brought 4 of them. 4 Saurus with Spears, and one of them is the Regiment of Renown Legion of Chakwa. He also has a Temple Guard, which he put 2 XP chevrons on. He has a kroq-gar, and he also brought a Slan Mage Priest. So now that he's moving all of this out, I go, wait a minute, this cannon over here, retarget. Retarget, if you please. First he put a shot into the Stegodon, but now that I see this Slan Mage Priest, I'm like, oh, okay. I move up my Outriders. I move up my Reichsguard. He gets a shot off on Karl Franz. He dodges most of it. Shem's Burning Cheese did not do him much good. This Stegodon, I'm going to go ahead and hit in 2 directions. I thought I'd put off an attack order I didn't. I activate Gall Miraz. I'm going to have him attack the Stegodon, while this cannon is going to start targeting the Slan Mage Priest. I targeted the Bastildon with the Revivification Crystal with my Outriders. Not entirely 100% sure why. My steam tank gets over here to start pushing around some of the cavalry. I'm going to need to start moving my infantry over soon, and I will. But I've got one of my cannons focusing fire on the Cold One Spear Rider still. I've got this steam tank trying to push them around. And I'm going to have infantry in position to take this. These spears are going to hold here against the Saurus spears. My Outriders, the Temple Guard can't do anything about them. So the Outriders are just going to shoot at the Slan Mage Priest all day. All dang diggity dawn day. He puts up the shield, try and help himself a little bit, but I've got time, and my cannons are going to start shooting at the Slan Mage Priest as well. He tries another Shem's Burning Gaze. That's actually a pretty solid hit. That's not bad at all. He gets a cavalry unit into one of my cannons, but not before I take them off their artillery piece. And the cannons and Outriders, they just get to eat a Slan Mage Priest. I've been saying eat a lot today, but there's nothing a Slan Mage Priest can do against all of this. I throw down a net of Ammontok over here once I see that he's brought in some cavalry to help out over here. And that just gives my Reichsguard some time to work. He pulls his Bastildon with the Revivification Crystal through into my Great Cannons. They actually do get through. I route the Spear Riders with my Steam Tank. The other artillery crew is now clear to return back to their weapons when they need to. And Karl Franz chases off the Stegodon. And now my Outriders are just going to take free shots into Temple Guard. It's at this stage that I'm going, wait a minute, I think I have this. He became so engrossed in trying to take out my Great Cannons that I had the tools to combo, that I had the tools to eliminate his units in engagements that were favorable to me. So his Cold One Spear Riders, they're not doing any good. His Cold One Riders aren't doing any good. I pull my Reichsguard out of this once I see the Temple Guard move in. And now I'm moving my Outriders over to start taking shots at Bastiladons, at Stegodons, at kroq-gars. I've got infantry to spare, and I could put my artillery crews back on their weapons now. Everything's going solidly for me. They're going to chase off this Cold Wind Spear Rider. This Steam Tank is going to take some shots into this Temple Guard. The Temple Guard's just chasing my Reichsguard, but I'm not worried about that. I drop a banishment right here. It's also worth pointing out the Slan Mage Priest. He did also try dropping a banishment on top of my Light Wizard and Artillery crew. He was so desperate to do something about my cannons that he wasted, I felt, a banishment on my artillery. And look at this, the Outriders, boom, volley after volley after volley into the flank of these kroq-gars. Just tears them apart. He does get a his Stegodon into my Light Wizard, but I'm not worried about that. I've got a fully healed Halberdier over here, which will do the job. I've got Karl Franz activating Gall Mirage on the Bastiladon with the Revivification Crystal. The kroq-gars are out. Look at that. Done. Done. My Light Wizard is getting pitched around for a bit, and then I've got my Steam Tank has got the Temple Guard all to himself, and that's actually okay, because look what else I have. My entire army is still in this fight, with, you know, a couple of exceptions. The Light Wizard wisely walks away from this fight, but the balance of power is solidly in my favor now, and this Stegodon is going to rout. He did get some Cold Wind Riders into my Outriders, but I let one stand and fight, and I pulled the other one around, and look what's going to happen to the Cold Wind Riders. He didn't have any support. I had supporting units for everything that all my units do. So over the body of their fallen Slan Mage Priest, the Outriders open fire into the Cold One, and guess what? My warriors are rallying. You could see how heavily outnumbered all of his infantry are, but I have the tools and the ability to fight him at my discretion, on my terms. And I'm jumping in my seat at this point in the fight going, I can't believe I did it. I did it solidly. I had control of every aspect of the battle, and I won. I actually won one, guys. I was so proud of myself there. So like I said, I did start with 1 XP rank in my Reichsguard, but my cannons that got 8 kills, they got an XP rank for nuking that Slan Mage Priest. This Outrider, probably for the kroq-gars, also the Slan Mage Priest for the Cold Wind Riders, and Karl Franz, though he did no kills, did fantastic damage against his valuable units. And I earned this. This wasn't a fluke. I didn't feel like things were going poorly. I had the tools to beat his army, and it worked out for me. Even though he tried some tricky plays, I had answers for them. I could have done better with the Light Wizard. His nets were there for a reason, and I didn't really get to put them to 100% the best use. But guys, I did it. Are you proud of me? I am. I'm really proud of that army. I'm glad that did its job. So thank you so much for watching. I hope you all enjoyed the series. I'll see you in the next one. Ta-ta.